Before many crimes happen, the victim has already revealed something about themselves. Not with words, but with habits. Small behaviors criminals watch carefully before choosing their target. Most crimes do not happen randomly. In many situations, criminals observe people before deciding to act. They watch behavior, they study habits. They look for patterns. Sometimes this observation lasts for days. Sometimes it lasts even longer. During this time, criminals look for small signs that reveal vulnerability. These signs often appear in everyday behavior, and most people never realize how much their habits reveal. Today, we will explore 8 habits criminals often look for before choosing their victims. Understanding these habits can help you become more aware of your surroundings, because awareness is one of the strongest forms of personal security. The first habit criminals notice is constant distraction. Many people walk through public places while staring at their phones. They text while walking. They scroll through social media. They listen to music through headphones. When someone becomes deeply distracted, they lose awareness of what is happening around them. Criminals often look for people who appear distracted, because distracted individuals are less likely to notice unusual behavior. Simply lifting your head and observing your surroundings can change how others perceive you. Awareness alone can discourage unwanted attention. The second habit criminals notice is predictable routines. Routine is a normal part of everyday life. People leave home at the same time. They follow the same routes. They visit the same places. Over time, these routines create patterns. If someone observes long enough, these patterns become easy to recognize. Predictability makes planning easier. Changing small routines occasionally can make observation much more difficult. Even simple changes can disrupt patterns. The third habit criminals look for is walking alone in isolated areas. Certain environments naturally create vulnerability. Empty parking lots, quiet streets at night, poorly lit pathways. When someone walks alone in these areas, criminals may see an opportunity. This does not mean people should avoid these places completely, but awareness in these environments is important. Good lighting and visible activity can increase safety. The fourth habit criminals notice is visible valuables. Expensive phones, jewelry, laptops, other valuable items. Visible valuables can attract attention. Criminals sometimes observe individuals who display items that appear valuable. This does not mean people should hide everything they own, but being mindful of what is visible in public spaces can reduce unnecessary attention. The fifth habit criminals notice is lack of situational awareness. Situational awareness means understanding what is happening around you. Someone who occasionally looks around appears alert. Someone who moves through public spaces without noticing their surroundings appears less aware. Criminals often notice these differences. Awareness changes how others perceive you. Someone who appears alert often becomes a less attractive target. The sixth habit criminals observe is ignoring unusual behavior. Sometimes people notice something strange but dismiss it quickly. A vehicle parked nearby for a long time. Someone appearing repeatedly in the same location. Someone watching an area closely. These situations may be harmless, but ignoring unusual patterns reduces awareness. Paying attention to your surroundings allows you to recognize patterns that feel unusual. The seventh habit criminals notice is oversharing personal information. Today, many people share details of their daily lives online. Where they are, where they work, where they travel, sometimes even their schedules. While sharing moments online can feel normal, it can also reveal patterns. Someone observing these posts may learn a lot about routines and habits. Being mindful about what you share publicly can reduce unnecessary exposure. The eighth habit criminals observe is becoming too comfortable in familiar places. Familiar environments can create a false sense of security. Neighborhood streets, parking spaces near home, local stores. When people feel comfortable, they sometimes stop paying attention. Criminals may observe these environments and look for individuals who appear relaxed and unaware. Remaining observant, even in familiar places, can increase safety. Understanding these habits does not mean living in fear. Most people we encounter are harmless, but awareness allows us to recognize patterns. Small changes in behavior can reduce vulnerability. Looking around occasionally, avoiding deep distraction in public places. Being mindful about routines. These simple habits increase awareness, and awareness reduces opportunity. Crime often relies on 3 things: opportunity, observation, and predictability, but awareness disrupts these patterns. When someone appears alert and observant, they become a more difficult target. Sometimes the smallest habits make the biggest difference. Pay attention to your surroundings. Notice unusual behavior and trust your awareness. Security is not about paranoia. IT is about attention. It is about understanding how criminals sometimes think and recognizing patterns before problems occur. Because when awareness increases, opportunities for crime often decrease. Criminals often rely on observation before taking action. Observation reduces uncertainty. The more someone knows about a person's habits, the easier it becomes to predict their movements. This is why criminals sometimes watch potential targets for several days. They study routines. They notice when someone leaves home. They notice when someone returns. They watch how people behave in public spaces. Over time, patterns begin to appear. And when patterns become predictable, planning becomes easier. Situational awareness simply means understanding what is happening around you. It does not require fear. It only requires attention. Someone who looks around occasionally appears more alert. Someone who notices their environment sends a signal. That signal tells others that they are aware. Criminals often prefer individuals who appear unaware, because an unaware person is easier to approach. Sometimes the simple act of looking around changes how others perceive you. Improving personal security does not require dramatic changes. Sometimes small habits make the biggest difference. Changing your route occasionally, parking in different areas when possible, leaving a few minutes earlier or later. These small changes interrupt predictable patterns. When patterns disappear, observation becomes less useful. And when observation becomes less useful, planning becomes harder. Predictability is one of the most valuable things criminals look for. If someone can predict where a person will be at a certain time, planning becomes easier. Predictable routines create opportunities. Unpredictable routines create uncertainty. And criminals often avoid situations where outcomes feel uncertain. That is why small variations in daily behavior can increase safety. Security awareness should never mean living in fear. It simply means paying attention, noticing patterns, recognizing unusual behavior. Most people we encounter are harmless, but awareness allows us to recognize situations that may require caution. And sometimes awareness alone discourages unwanted attention. If you want to understand how criminals think and learn how to stay one step ahead, subscribe to the Security Brief for more insights on crime awareness and personal safety. Stay observant, stay unpredictable. Stay ahead. This is the Security Brief.